Let's try a little thought experiment, shall we? Let's rebuild our planet's story, kind of like using Lego bricks, to explore a massive what if. What if Earth had rings?
A cosmologist once said, "You're totally imagining Earth wrong." And you know what? They were absolutely right. Because what if the sky you look at every single day was just fundamentally different? It's time we challenge how we see our own home. And that really is the heart of it, isn't it? We're about to weigh this incredible cosmic spectacle against some very real planetary peril. Is this a beautiful dream, or would it be a terrifying new reality? Let's dive in. Okay, so let's jump right into our thought experiment. We're going to place our first Lego brick right here. Imagine the exact moment the rings first appear. Just try to imagine this for a second. It's, say, 4:17 a.m. in Tokyo. Someone walks outside, looks up, and just freezes. Arching from one horizon to the other is this impossible luminous band. It looks like the Milky Way got stretched out into a perfect glowing line. This is the new normal. But here's the thing about a view like that. It isn't just a pretty picture in the sky. It would change everything about daily life. So let's place the next Lego brick and see exactly how our world gets completely remade. And right away, we run into this totally bizarre, kind of funny irony. The rings would sit directly above the equator. So that means people in places like Singapore or Nairobi, the ones who are physically closest to them, they'd have the worst view. It'd just be a thin line on the horizon. But if you're way up in Scotland or down in Canada, oh, you get a front row seat to the greatest show in the entire solar system. So yeah, that amazing view, it comes with a pretty big catch. The rings would act like a gigantic mirror, bouncing sunlight back onto the night side of Earth. So you'd get this romantic, permanent twilight. It's like a natural streetlight across the heavens. Beautiful, right? Oh, for sure. But for astronomers, it's an absolute catastrophe. The night sky, the very thing they need to study, would be ruined, forever washed out by the glow. Okay, time for a much, much bigger Lego brick, because this next one doesn't just change our view of the sky, it rewrites our entire past. How would human civilization itself be different if we had always lived under a ring sky? Well, first things first, let's talk about the weather, because rings would literally throw a shadow over our world, a massive, moving shadow that crawls across the planet's surface. In those shadow zones, temperatures would plummet. That would shift weather patterns, change where the rain falls, and totally alter growing seasons. Entire civilizations might never have even started where they did. The world map we all know, it would be completely different. And then you have to think about the stories we tell ourselves, our myths, our religions. They were built around the sun, the moon, the stars. Now imagine if they were centered on this, a colossal, glowing belt that cuts the entire sky in two. Instead of gods riding chariots of fire, maybe our legends would speak of a celestial bridge to another world, or the shimmering spine of some slumbering cosmic titan. The stories that define us would be totally unrecognizable. So up to this point, it's all been about awe and beauty and change. But every beautiful story has a dark side. Because that beautiful celestial bridge, it comes with a constant, nagging danger. The sky is quite literally falling. You see Saturn's rings? Mostly ice, super light. But Earth's rings, they'd probably be a mix of rock and ice, maybe the leftovers of a shattered moon. And here's the problem with having a giant belt of orbiting rubble hanging over your head. Rings aren't perfectly stable. Particles bump into each other, their orbits decay, and gravity always wins. Which means that sometimes pieces fall. But come on, we're human, we adapt, right? We wouldn't just sit around waiting for things to fall on us. Our entire civilization would evolve around this constant threat. We'd build incredible global systems to monitor any unstable particles, massive early warning networks to alert people to impacts, and our buildings and cities would be designed to shield us from cosmic shrapnel. Life would go on, just with one eye always looking up. But here's where it gets really interesting and really human. We wouldn't just live in fear of the rings, we would embrace them. We'd fall in love with them. The danger would exist right alongside this profound sense of awe, and that would create a completely new global culture just obsessed with the heavens. So get ready for what I'm calling the ring boom. Cities and places like Sweden or Argentina would be fighting for tourist dollars, all advertising the best ring views. Astronomy would probably be the most popular hobby on the planet. And every single photo you see on social media, you can bet it would have those majestic rings in the background. Guaranteed.
All right, it's time for our last Lego brick. And this is the one that brings the whole thing home. Because the truth is, nothing, not even something as vast and seemingly permanent as a planetary ring system, lasts forever. This is the grand finale.
Because over millions of years, the rings would start to decay. They'd begin to fall into our atmosphere. But it wouldn't be some kind of apocalypse. No. Instead, for centuries, humanity would witness the single most spectacular light show in history. A constant shimmering rain of dust and ice burning up high above our heads. The sky would literally snow light.
I mean, can you even imagine that? Every single person on Earth, united, watching the heavens themselves dissolve, knowing that they were the last generation of humans who would ever see this celestial marvel. It would be this profoundly moving, shared experience, the beautiful end of an entire astronomical era. So after all that, let's circle all the way back to that first big question. Would Earth actually be better with rings? More beautiful? Oh, absolutely. More dangerous? Yeah, in some ways, no denying the risk. But more inspiring? Without a single doubt.
It really makes you think, doesn't it? Our world, right now, is already an extraordinary place, just filled with wonders. Maybe all it takes to really see that is to look up and just imagine what could have been. What do you think?
If you enjoyed this journey, please click the like button, subscribe to the channel for more space adventures, and share this video if you liked it.